So today I'm talking about the ability to know whether or not the church is true. There are many different religions in the world. Each religion teaches something different. Do Mormons actually know that the church is true for a surety? Once the mind has actually settled on an idea, can that mind still be reasoned with? Is it possible for a finite mind to have an absolute certainty pertaining to things of eternity? Those are questions that I just can't help but ask myself. In 2003, a woman by the name of Deanna LeJeune Laney killed her 3 sons because she was convinced that God told her to do it. This was a travesty, that she was so convinced that what she understood to be true was the will of God, and she acted that out through murder of her own children. This is why we must be cautious of our convictions and just really constantly evaluate new ideas and occasionally re-evaluate old ones. Abraham had the same dilemma. He was told by God, what he perceived to be God, that he needed to kill his son. Fortunately, an angel came and said, "No, you don't have to kill your son." When I was a kid, I prayed and I asked God if the LDS church was true. I can tell you that I felt a warm feeling in my chest, and it sort of swelled up. My emotions were peaceful. I felt my mind was very clear in my choice to follow the teachings of the church. However, I wouldn't be so bold as to say that I know that the church is true. Because absolute truth is something that I don't think we're capable of really knowing. A leading neurologist, neuroscientist, Andrew Newberg, he conducted a study on the relationship between prayer and biology. Basically, what we learn from his study is that the activity in the brain changes significantly when we pray or when we meditate. These changes may be responsible for what we credit as spiritual experiences. Basically, the changes affect our biology, which can cause what we might interpret to be a divine communication or confirmation. Mormons think that they know the truth. A lot of them do anyway. Muslims believe that they know the truth, and Jews believe that they have the truth. How does each person become so convinced that they are right? I think the best evidence of a person's conviction in a belief is that person's willingness to sacrifice for that belief. We can find examples within each of these religions where people are so convinced of its truthfulness that they are willing to even go to the extreme of dying. Like, you think about some of these people who strap bombs to themselves and kill themselves and kill other people in the name of religion. I think we can all agree that there is no better measurement of faith than a willingness to sacrifice and take it to the extreme, to the willingness to die for what it is that you believe in. I don't think you can compare anything to that. Once a person is willing to die for what they believe, then they truly believe in that particular thing. If people have been and are willing to die for the things that they believe in different religions, what does that tell us? That means that people from different religions basically can be just as completely sure of what they believe as people from completely different religions. So the Mormon can be just as sure as the Jew, and the Jew can be just as sure as the Muslim. Do some people have the ability to discern truth better than others, or are some people just spiritually more equipped to be able to discern truth? I don't think that's the case, because the Bible teaches us that God is no respecter of persons, and if that were true, then God would not be fair. If that is not true, and we're all on equal spiritual ground, then we should all come to the same conclusion when trying to interpret and discern what is true, especially when you look at people who are willing to take it to the extreme to die for what they believe in, to become martyrs for their cause, then these people should all be in the same religion if our ability to interpret truth is on equal ground. But there's a reason that that doesn't happen. Basically, that reason is because man's ability to understand truth is terribly flawed, and there is no way for a finite mind to be sure of anything. And that's why I never say that I know the church is true. I think it's exceeding arrogant, and not to mention it's a dangerous state of mind. I think that faith is an important thing, and we can have a belief and we can have a thought that we become convicted of, but to say this is the absolute truth, I think it impedes our ability to continue to investigate truth and to be open-minded and to really search out for ourselves whenever there is something that we have a question about. That way we're not just blindly following doctrine, but we are seeking the truth on a continual basis, which makes us, I think, closer to God. And so that's what I wanted to share with you today.